Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha, Kwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders that do rule well at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. It's an article from the NewYorkPost.com. It says you're eating a credit card's worth of plastic a week and it's killing your gut. This is another reason why we need the kingdom. This is another reason why we need to be saved from our enemies, because our enemies are trying to harm us. They're trying to kill us. They're trying to make us sick. Okay. Our top enemy is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. He's in rulership right now. Okay, and the scriptures say we have to go to him for the want of all things. We will go to our enemies for the want of all things, including food, including water, So it's plastic in the food, it's plastic in the water, it's plastic in the air, it's plastic in, our bodies. That's why we need salvation.
Microplastics. Most of us are aware that they're polluting our oceans and making their way into sea life. But the little bits are also making their way into our bodies. And it's a larger quantity than you may have guessed. So how much? Well, according to a study by the Worldwide Fund for Nature International, about a credit card's worth every week. That's a 4x2 Lego brick every month. Or 5.5 pounds of plastic in a decade. Meaning over our lives we'll likely ingest 44 pounds of it. And we're producing more and more plastic every year. The problem is plastic doesn't biodegrade, but it does break down into smaller, one could say more bite-sized pieces. Associate Environmental Sciences Professor at the University of Southampton, Dr. Malcolm Hudson had this to say about the problem.
We can potentially absorb them, so it could pass into our blood or lymphatic system and end up in our organs.
Something he calls a, quote, little time bomb, just waiting to be absorbed by wildlife or humans with potentially catastrophic consequences.
It says, this is the perfect time to trust your gut. Recent research suggests that humans consume about 5 grams of small plastic particles every week, which is about the weight of your credit card. It says the plastic particles make their way into the human food chain from packaging waste, entering the body through sea salt, seafood, and even drinking water. Scientists at the Medical University of Vienna explained that nanoplastics, which are less than 0.001 milliliters in size, and microplastics, which span 0.0001 to 5 millimeters, have the ability to change the gut microbiome composition, according to the study published in the journal Exposure and Health. Basically, these tiny plastics are wreaking havoc on your gut. The changes in the gastrointestinal tract from plastic are linked to metabolic diseases like obesity, diabetes, and chronic liver disease. While Medical University of Vienna researchers are studying the impacts that nano and microplastics have on the body, they also discover how these tiny plastics weasel their way into our gut tissue. When in the gut, the plastic particles trigger an immune response and activate inflammation, with mounting evidence suggesting that nanoplastics specifically trigger chemical pathways involved in the formation of cancer. Drinking the recommended amount of water, 1.5 to 2 liters daily, through plastic bottles alone will introduce 90,000 plastic particles per year into your body, according to a study referenced in the review. But not so fast. Drinking tap water doesn't solve the problem either. Those who drank the same amount of water from the tap ingested about 40,000 plastic particles each year. According to the study, the health effects of plastic may be irreversible, and that this is a risk future generations must brace for. Yet the authors conceded plastics are irreplaceable in daily life. So we've been eating plastic in food and in water for decades. People have been eating plastic for decades unknowingly. That's why we need Yahweh to send Yahweh Shai to come back to save his elect. Because we need the kingdom as soon as possible. You know? We got a lot of people out here that's sick because of their diet and also the things that they're eating. You know? The food that we're eating is defiled. It's making people sick. All right? It's making people get cancer. That's why a lot of people are sick. And they going through it right now because of their diet. Because of the things that they're eating and drinking. So I want to bring out Ecclesiasticus chapter 29, verse 21. The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and house to cover shame. Chief thing for life is water. We need water. Okay, our body is made up of water as well. We came out of the waters. We need bread. We need to eat food, to give us strength and energy. All right. And clothing, we need clothes on our back so that we don't have to walk around naked. We need clothing and a house to cover shame. All right. Need somewhere to live at. Right. But, during these days, a lot of people are being evicted from their homes or apartments. Okay. So the water is defiled, the bread is defiled, our clothing is defiled, everything is defiled. There's mixed fabric everywhere. Everything is defiled. And it says the chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and a house to cover shame. We need those things to operate in society. But it's hard out here. That's why we have to pray over our food. We have to pray over the things that we're putting in our body. We have to ask Yahweh Bashim Shai to what? Take out the impurities from our food and water. So we have to pray over our things, man. This Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13. And the Lord Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. Our food is defiled. It's already written in the scriptures. So knowing that, we have to what? Pray over our food, pray over our water, pray over the things that we put in our body. We have to make sure we're taking our vitamins, making sure we're eating what? Greens and herbs, taking our supplements, because once again, people are getting sick. This is the New Living Translation, Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13. Then said Yahweh, then the Lord said, This is how Israel would eat the foul bread in the Gentile lands to which I would banish them. So the reason why we're eating the foul food is because we're under the curses. Okay? That's part of our punishment. That's why, when we drink water, how about we squeeze some lemon in it, Let's do the best. Let's do the best we can. Let's take the proper precautions. Let's prepare ourselves when we eat and drink. Because people just like to indulge. Let us pray over our food. So I just want to bring that out real quick. With that, all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash, Shalom.